As I've said before, the best part of being retired is having the ability to come and go as I please. And the one thing I still enjoy, as crazy as it is hopping the train to the city. The sounds and excitement of the morning rush just never gets old to me.
Shut right up. Read all about what the president has done now. Oh, hey, Mr. Bob. What you need?
Good morning, Chauncey. My local newsstand hawker. I don't know. What you got?
What I got is the New York Times, the LA Times, the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Daily News, the Baltimore Sun-Times, and every local paper within 100 miles. Although, the Inquirer will be late today. Apparently they had a little problem with their printing press last night.
That's incredible. It still boggles my mind that these publications can be assembled and thousands of copies printed every single day. We take all this for granted. Chauncey, can you imagine what it must have been like before the printing press was invented?
Well, I know I wouldn't be here. Hey, what are you doing with your cane?
This is my time machine walking cane. Do you, care to take a ride back to the beginning of the printing press?
I don't know, Mr. Bob. This is right in the middle of the morning rush!
You are listening to The World According to Mr. Bob, a historical fiction educational podcast based on true life events. Some sounds and language may be inappropriate. Listener discretion is advised.
What in the Sam Hill was that? Where are we?
Oh, I'm sorry, Chauncey. I guess I should have warned you. We just traveled back in time to 1439 and to the German city of Mainz. We are in front of Gutenberg Jewelry Shop. And a gentleman in the front window there, it's Johann Gutenberg. He is a jeweler by trade, but he's trying to break into the printing business. Let's go over and see what he's working on.
There's got to be a better way. This carving printing plates out of wood or trying to mold it out of clay is just way too tedious. Besides, after just a couple of impressions, the sharp edges of the type starts to round over and look worn out. There's just has to be a better way. Oh, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? May I help you with something?
Well, hello, sir. I'm Mr. Bob. And my friend Chauncey and I are big fans of your jewelry.
Hello, sir. How do you do?
And we just stopped by to see what you were working on. And we couldn't help overhearing.
Right now, I'm working on frustration. Been trying to break into the printing business, but there's no way to make money. This whole process is just too time-consuming and expensive. It takes me all day to scribe a wooden plate, and after just a couple of sheets of paper and all the ink, the plates get soaked and starts to wear out. Why am I even bothering? Nobody in this town can read anyway.
Excuse me, Mr. Gutenberg, but I thought you were a jeweler, a metal expert.
I am. Look around this shop. Every piece of jewelry is a work of art, and it was all made by me.
Then why are you trying to carve one entire plate out of wood?
Because through my research, I found this is the way the Chinese have been inking impressions for hundreds of years. If it's good enough for them.
If you don't mind, may I make a suggestion?
Sure, but who are you again?
Well, I'm Mr. Bob. And Mr. Gutenberg, may I call you Johann? With your vast knowledge of metallurgy, maybe you should think about using some kind of metal to make your individual characters, instead of just a one-time use wooden plate. That way, you could use the metal characters over and over again, before they even begin to show any signs of wear.
Individual metal characters. What a unique concept. I could scribe a matrix that forms each individual letter or character, fill that matrix with a combination of lead, tin, and antimony. That alloy would be very strong. With all those individual characters that I could use over and over again, there's no telling what I could do.
Now you're thinking like a printer.
Mr. Bob, you may be onto something. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a great deal of work to do.
Hey, Joey, I think you messed up. You got a problem. All your letters are backwards. Why does everything on the plate look backwards?
That's a fair question. One that will have you saying, of course, once you heard the answer. But I need you to think and picture what I'm saying. You see all those raised surfaces? Ink gets rolled on them, and I carefully place my paper on top of the ink plate. After I peel the paper back, the image will be transferred to the paper and appear forward and correct.
Of course. Once I think about it, that makes perfect sense. What just happened? Mr. Bob again with the spinning and the colors.
Chauncey, you just witnessed the beginning of an industry. Experts say that the creation of movable metal type is the most important invention of the second millennium.
I still can't believe that I met Gutenberg. With his new invention, he must have gone on to become a very rich man.
Well, not exactly. Remember, this is the 1400s. Very few people know how to read. Where he lived, it was a luxury afforded only to the very rich. So Gutenberg had to get creative. He had to expand past his little town in Germany. And as a result, another industry was born, almost out of necessity.
Yeah, I don't like what I'm doing here. You gotta take your product to the people. Get your daily news!
Exactly. Let's see how he did it.
Mr. Gutenberg, I'm afraid I can no longer extend your credit any further.
But sir, please, I believe my printing press to be the most important tool of our time. Now that I can rapidly make a metal plate that will last for hundreds of impressions, printing will rapidly become the way of the future to disseminate information.
I couldn't agree with you more, Johann. But it just took you 3 years to print 200 Bibles. We live in a city where you sold a Bible to the only 3 people who know how to read. What are you going to do with the other 197 Bibles?
I don't know. I guess I could always...
Johann, you have to reach out to other worlds. You have to get your books into the hands of the people who can read and appreciate them. Take your Bibles to the docks in Venice, Italy, and see if you can get the ship captains to take them to their next destinations.
Gutenberg took his banker's advice and packed up his Bibles and moved to Venice, Italy. By the late 15th century, Venice, with its port on the Mediterranean Sea, was the center for trade with the rest of the world.
Okay, Captain, as we agreed, here are your 5 copies of my Bible. When you get to your next port, there will be a gentleman waiting for them. Please make sure they are delivered intact and on time.
Mr. Gutenberg, I have no problem transporting your Bibles to my next stop. But what is in it for me? How do I make any money helping you?
Captain, I've already told my customers I would charge him $20 per Bible. So if you can guarantee safe, on-time delivery of my Bibles, I'll pay you $5 for every Bible you deliver.
So, Johann, my man, what if I take a couple extra copies and try to sell them on the docks when I get to my next port? Would you give me the same a deal? What if I could sell them for more?
Captain, that would be huge, and quite frankly, it would be greatly appreciated. I still have over 100 Bibles to sell, and anything you get over 15 is yours to keep.
Sir, I believe this could be the start of a beautiful relationship.
So as far as I can tell, Gutenberg was able to get rid of his Bibles. But I believe he died penniless. Like most brilliant inventors, he was a terrible businessman. But his failure spawned yet another industry. Publishing.
Publishing? What do you mean, like newspapers?
Hey, can I get that daily news or what?
I'm sorry, sir. Sure thing. That'll be a buck. Hey, Mr. Bob, you gotta stop doing that. I'm trying to work here.
Exactly. Printers would also sell copies of their books to ships' captains leaving port, who would in turn take them to distant lands where more people could actually read them. Think about it. These guys were the Amazon of their time.
Mr. Bob, I realize what you're saying, but we're talking the 1500s. How many people could even read back then? And it's not like they had neighborhood schools or anything.
You're absolutely correct. And the world continued like that for hundreds of years. The books or pamphlets would make it to the next port, where they would be unloaded and rushed to a local pub, where a professional town crier would read it to anyone who wanted to listen. Think about when Ben Franklin lived in this town. As we both know, Ben Franklin, as a printer, went on to become very rich and a very powerful man.
Mr. Bob, I'm begging you. I'm not a rich printer. I sell newspapers, and if my boss sees me at a place in the middle of the morning rush, it'll cost me my job.
I understand, but relax. That's the beauty of my time machine. Look, it's like we never left. I promise you haven't missed a sale.
Daily News, get your Enquirer here. Read all about what's going on across the pond.
Think about it though, Chauncey. Some of the most powerful men in history have been printers. Ben Franklin was just the start. At the beginning of the 20th century, people like William Randolph Hearst amassed huge fortunes owning a network of newspapers. He was even accused of starting a war with his yellow journalism. He would print sensational stories and people ate it up. He sold millions of newspapers. It's made him a very rich man.
It seems like back in the day, printing made some people rich. And in today's world, well, rich friends are buying up the printing presses, so I guess not much has changed.
I know, right? Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon and one of the richest men in the world, now owns the prestigious Washington Post newspaper.
Wasn't that the newspaper that broke the Watergate story and cost President Nixon his job?
Hey, Chauncey, here's your inquiries. They finally got the press running again.
Exactly. Now that's power. When you can bring down a president with your printed word, incredible. And right now, my growling stomach is threatening to bring me down if it doesn't get some breakfast soon. So now that the Morning Enquirer has finally made it here, I'm going to take my paper and head to the down-home diner for a cup of coffee and the day's news. And I'll see you, Chauncey.
As always, Mr. Bob, it's been a pleasure. Get your daily news here. Come on down and get yourself a Washington Post, the Philadelphia Inquirer.
The World According to Mr. Bob is produced by Bob Staniszewski and Adam Staniszewski. Recorded and mixed at Crooked Lane Sound in Cherry Hill, New Jersey by audio engineer and sound designer Adam Staniszewski. Episode number 4 of Season 3 was written by Bob Staniszewski and is titled The Printing Press. It features Pat Byra as Johannes Gutenberg, Brett Slavin as Chauncey, Kyle Ranshaw is the captain, and Paul Gotthold plays the banker. New this season is Mr. Bob's Instagram page. Go into the studio and watch highlights from a Mr. Bob voiceover recording session, and also see photos of the actual locations of where Mr. Bob's episodes take place. Find and follow The World According to Mr. Bob on Instagram. But don't forget about The World According to Mr. Bob Facebook page and YouTube channels. Subscribe to those as well. Mr. Bob's graphics were designed by J.R. Farrell at Promotional Graphics in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Our video editor is Daniel Latch, at Dan the Latch on Instagram. The theme songs were created by Doug Maxwell and Ease Jammy Jams. For a full list of character and musical credits, please check out our website, theworldaccordingtomrbob.com. If you'd like to advertise or sponsor the show and reach thousands of Mr. Bob listeners worldwide, please email us at worldofmrbob@gmail.com. I'm Danielle Byrne, announcer extraordinaire. Thank you for listening, and please tune in and download the next exciting episode of The World According to Mr. Bob. This has been a Moon Ranger production.
This episode of The World According to Mr. Bob is brought to you by Moon Ranger Productions. Looking for the perfect place to showcase your brand? At Moon Ranger Productions, we don't just produce great podcasts. We create immersive audio experiences that captivate audiences. Whether you're launching a new product, building brand awareness, or reaching a dedicated listener base, we can help you connect with engaged listeners from around the world who trust our content. Join with businesses that have taken their message to the next level with Moon Ranger Productions. Advertise with us, and let's make your brand shine. Visit moonrangerpro.com to get started today.